Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Well, what do we have here? Man, I swear the last 2.5 years have been nothing but covering email after email. Hunter Biden's laptop is the political gift that keeps on giving, and boy, the rabbit hole just keeps digging deeper and deeper and deeper. Last week we covered a massive bombshell, a huge scandal involving current Secretary of State Anthony Blinken, supposedly using his connections at the CIA to draft and sign a letter protecting Joe Biden from the Hunter Biden laptop scandal back in October of 2020 during the height of election season, right before voting day. That allegation was made during official testimony by an ex-CIA official named Mike Morell. I mean, he's gone on the record essentially pointing the finger directly at Anthony Blinken as being the main orchestrator or the organizer behind the letter itself. Well, this week we have even more evidence to add to the pile. Email correspondence between Hunter Biden directly, Anthony Blinken, and get this, Anthony Blinken's wife, showing a very, very cozy relationship with Joe Biden's crackhead son, Hunter Biden. More evidence, albeit in this case, more circumstantial evidence, suggesting a very cozy relationship between the two, adding more merit to Mike Morell's testimony in front of Congress, showing us just how deep the nepotism goes and just how deep the political corruption and abuse of power that this administration is involved in goes as well. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on here, and we'll delve into some speculative territory as well for some fun later. We've got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, take a look at this article right over here. Anthony Blinken and wife emailed frequently with Hunter Biden, raising questions about the role in laptop cover story. Exclusive, Secretary of State Anthony Blinken held a meeting with Hunter Biden at the State Department in July of 2015, when he was serving as the Deputy Secretary of State in the Obama-Biden administration, and Hunter was on board of the Ukrainian energy firm Burisma, according to emails reviewed and verified by Fox News Digital. The ties between Blinken and Hunter Biden could face increased scrutiny after former CIA Deputy Director Mike Morell testified to the House Judiciary and Intelligence Committee last week that Blinken, as President Biden's then campaign senior advisor, played a role in the inception of the public statement signed by intelligence officials claiming Hunter's abandoned laptop was part of a Russian disinformation campaign just weeks before the 2020 presidential election. Emails from the infamous abandoned laptop that Blinken sought to discredit show that Hunter has ties to Blinken and his wife, Evan Ryan, dating back over a decade, having scheduled meetings with him while he was on the board of Burisma and Blinken was the Deputy Secretary of State. In an email on May 22, 2015, Hunter tried to schedule a meeting with Blinken so he could get the Deputy Secretary of State's, quote, advice on some things. Hunter Biden writes, "Have a few minutes next week to grab a cup of coffee? I know you are impossibly busy, but would like to get your advice on a couple things. Best, Hunter." Anthony Blinken then responds, "Absolutely. I'm just about to land in Tokyo en route to DC from Burma. I'll be in office from Tuesday on. Copying Linda in my office to find a good time. Look forward to seeing you." Now, on surface level and in total isolation, these emails are a total nothing burger. You know, leftoids will obviously instantly dismiss them. So what? Anthony Blinken served with his father, Joe Biden. Hunter Biden was working, I guess you could say, within a professional capacity, and so they scheduled meetings. What's the big deal? Well, the big deal is that a former CIA official, Mike Morell, has pointed the finger directly to Anthony Blinken as abusing his government connections and power to orchestrate and organize the infamous former intelligence official letter, 51 former intelligence officials signing on, declaring the Hunter Biden laptop story, quote, Russian disinformation, or having all the hallmarks of Russian disinformation back in October of 2020. It's a clear abuse of power, and these emails show that Anthony Blinken had some sort of stake in this whole thing. He has a personal connection, a personal relationship, a professional connection, considering if he does the dirty work for the Biden family, well then, what happens with him? He gets to walk directly into the Secretary of State position under the Biden regime, which is literally where he currently stands. And so it's not just an insignificant email chain, it shows how these people operate. You know, there's another name that's connected to the Bidens that we hear over and over again, the name of Jake Sullivan, who's currently serving as a national security advisor for the Biden administration, an individual who has been directly accused, or the finger has been pointed to him as being involved directly in the Biden family deals in Ukraine and other places. It's kind of funny how you have these Biden cabinet members who, like I just said earlier, do all the dirty work, do what's necessary to enrich the Biden name, and then miraculously they find themselves at the top positions in the Biden cabinet. It's not a coincidence at all. There are no coincidences in the world of politics. Everything is pay for play. You gotta play the game if you expect to get anywhere. You know, again, there's a picture being painted here here. You know, let's go back to the whole concept of in isolation. In isolation, this stuff means absolutely nothing. But when you look at the whole picture, I mean, you would have to be blind to not see exactly what's going on. Anthony Blinken has a very cozy relationship with the Bidens, and so he lied. He drafted this letter, he went directly to the CIA, he made a shadowy backdoor request which was then granted, got 51 former intelligence officers who obviously don't want Donald Trump anywhere near any levers of power because of course he stands in the way of the globalist status quo and New World Order. He drafted this phony letter, got it signed, and protected the Biden family with clear fake news, an orchestrated fake news campaign to deceive the American people. That's probably the worst part. He abused his position and his connections in the federal government to mislead the American people, to censor and discredit information that would hurt Joe Biden's campaign. And he did it, by the way, while doing public events across the world, lecturing people about the fragility of democracy. They schemed behind the scenes to mislead people, casting their ballots in the previous election. It's the political scandal of a century that nobody seems to be talking about, nobody seems to even be interested in. But I'm not going to rehash it, been there, done that, we've been reporting on it for a very long time extensively. However, I do want to finish the video off with some further reporting from Fox News. Apparently, Hunter Biden's cozy relationship wasn't just with Secretary Blinken, but also with Secretary Blinken's wife as well. Fox News reported on it just yesterday.
To everyone, the relationship, the reason this is important, the relationship is quite cozy. It's quite intimate. Very interesting, the communication that Blinken's wife was having with Hunter Biden, and Blinken's wife was trying desperately to get a hold of Hunter Biden at times. Blinken was very busy, landing in Tokyo, taking off for Burma. But still managed to find time for then Vice President Biden's son. And, you know, who knows the type of thing they talked about. Hunter wanted Antony Blinken's private email so they could talk about things offline, which, you know, even back then was a no-no at the time. But they were doing it, and then he ran cover because he knew what could be on that laptop. Even if he wasn't privy to its particular contents, he knew how damaging it could be. And it's very interesting that his plum assignment at the end of all this, if you get Joe Biden elected president, you will be Secretary of State.
And so I question what exactly was going on there. What could possibly justify Hunter Biden meeting up with Anthony Blinken's wife? Why exactly were they in constant communication? Well, I'm not going to say anything more. I'll leave this speculation to you guys, and I guess we'll just have to wait for more emails and possibly text message correspondence to be uncovered and released in the media. More crony, shadowy politics behind the scenes from the exact same damn actors. Whether it's the Clintons doing what they do behind the scenes of the Podestas, or the Bidens and all their cronies, it's always the same type of corruption, an entitlement to power, a ruthless subversion of democracy. I just can't stand these people. I cannot stand these career politicians. That's what I got for you guys though. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. Of course, you know that we would love to have you here at the Liberal Hive Mind. Thanks for watching, friends, and I'll see you on the next one.